Because I missed you so much.
But I sure did help other work.
Efficient time.
These nights I
Only gets side trucker.
So they were.
just like 10 days away from my granddaughter. They should be there. Had to get home.
There's a system, absolutely. Absolutely, could come early.
Yes, because she, the mom had preeclampsia last time.
So one PSA.
Yeah.
You're gonna be forced to go.
If it was-
I was just gonna say. What they were.
That can be scary.
But not.
Oh, I've had blood pressure stuff
Yeah.
for a few weeks, but
See, I.
Got that settled down.
Big blood pressure.
Morning.
I'll just get
Yeah.
on and
no, I mean, it's just really weird that
Yeah.
like about 2 weeks, you just couldn't get it down.
that's something.
And
With Emily, it's blood sugar.
oh, because so she might be it was a gestational diabetes.
That's like,
Did she have it before? Or just no? Okay, because I know if you get it in one pregnancy, you're more likely to get it in a future.
They are.
pregnancy.
so she didn't have it with Jack.
Monday's better.
Yeah.
But she. Got it with a little girl, and they still have her name.
Yeah.
In front of your house.
You know the gender? Okay.
So
they're giving you a little.
They're
giving you a little. I feel like there's more girl names than boy names though, so.
I went, I got home and I was at their house on Saturday.
I was not on that.
I don't. It's so much.
Yeah.
Sure.
I didn't.
Probably.
Hey.
I don't.
Taking 400 miles.
We'll get some.
So I'll
leave it here.
Oh, hey, a little $10.
We had, Mary Jo and I had a committee meeting for utilities,
Okay.
With BFMS up there. And that's where this came from.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
No, it was just, it was a lunch thing on Tuesday
Okay,
afternoon.
that's right. No, no, no.
We sing happy birthday to Georgia. It was her birthday.
So that's really why you had.
Her birthday and my sister's are the same day. No,
That's, it doesn't surprise
Hi,
me.
how are you? Brandon, I love this. That looks good. You look distinguished.
I look like Magnum, don't I?
Yeah.
That'd be Magnum.
Yeah.
Magnum Fiat.
Uh-huh.
Is that the
Yeah.
Magnum you're talking about?
I think that's where he was going with that.
Okay.
So I thought.
Eric, I think we probably better leave it right.
We'll leave it right there.
We'll leave it right there.
All right, it is 6 PM. We'll go ahead and get this meeting started. Looks like we have full attendance tonight, so we are ready to go. I think first on the agenda, we're gonna move up, Denny Morris, gets up for the council. We'll go ahead and get you guys going. And then that way you don't have to be here until the end of our agenda.
Well, what I've got going is I live on the corner of 9th and Crop. And there's a tree there between the sidewalk and the street. Well, that tree's hollowed out. And the other day, when I pulled up to the house, there was 2 branches pulled over in my yard. Ron, did you pull them over? Okay, where they broke off, there's no doubt they was in the street.
Sure.
So, the sidewalk there. The new sidewalk, it's raised about this much.
From the roots and
From
everything.
the root. Now, when they did the street and the sidewalk. I asked them people if, because they had all the equipment to do it, if they would like to just take that tree down. And they said no, and I said, well, the old sidewalk, it was raised like this. He said, oh, I'll take care of it. He ground out the roots.
Right.
And so now the new sidewalk's lifted about this high.
Is it cracked real bad too? Is it cracked real bad?
No, actually, it's
It's just the whole slab itself.
And actually, then 2 slabs could probably be set off to the side.
Right, I'm wondering if we
And
get a
then-
tree out there, if they won't set it back down.
Yeah, she set them back down. That's what Twist did up by my house. But, I was just wondering if we could get something done about that.
I mean, it's between the sidewalk,
Before somebody gets,
right, if it's between the sidewalk and or between the street and the sidewalk, it's our right of way, right? So it's our responsibility to take care of that tree. If it's dead.
In the past, before me. We wouldn't, but
They did it on Wednesday, but you did on Wednesday.
On what,
Wednesday.
we do it on the.
We did take care of Winans, okay. I mean, so at least in my time here, that's been the precedent, I guess, that we took care of that tree when it went down on Winnan Street. How does the council feel about
I
that?
mean, it's in our right of way, I would think. it'd be our responsibility.
And that's kind of my thought is, yeah, is that if we consider that the right of way, then it really should be the town's
Responsibility.
responsibility.
I was gonna say, do we hire somebody or do we do it? Would that be something to do? Okay,
I mean, he can fall trees, but depending on where it's leaning, how close to the house, we wanna. You know,
We also need to be careful what time we cut it down, because with school traffic and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
so,
And there's one more item is, they're right on the corner when people pull up. Like going out on 9, well, they pull way up. And then when
are you talking about when they're turning right or left on the night?
either way,
Okay,
when they come to that stop sign, they pull way up, and I think it's because they can't see
Sure.
very good or something. But when a bus pulls up there, or a truck, they have to cut across the corner of my yard. And I mean, I've got ruts that deep.
and I live right there on College or Profit, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I fall in them ruts with that lawnmower and.
Shake shells up fierce,
So I'm almost to a 5-point harness. so.
sure, yeah, okay.
Buying a rock and putting it there, but getting
Yeah, that's
getting
what-
it delivered, we thought about putting a big rock there so they had to go around.
Sure.
Well, people won't back up,
And
and that's a bus.
And our easements,
So, you know, I just.
Yeah.
Well,
Not much we can do about that, the drivers.
Well, let me ask, is that where that bush is that you can't
I
see?
think that's on the other.
That's on the other
We
side.
dealt with it all last year.
The what?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
We dealt with
Okay,
that bush last year.
okay. Good.
That's when I discovered there was a phone box on there.
Okay.
Yeah, into the-
Yes.
That's right.
You pull it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, good job. Yeah,
They put it back up.
yeah, they do.
Ron, how close do bus drivers on have water,
Right.
do you think? Me, I get their number and I turn into that tree.
Yeah, see?
The school
How
water
close to
line,
the
it's a
water
gas line.
Yeah.
They're educated bus drivers on how to drive.
Sure.
Cause we've had a couple of water
That's
breaks
tight.
in that area.
Yeah.
Right turn.
Especially if you have cars coming the other direction and,
Busy,
right,
unassumingly
right there.
busy.
Yeah,
Is it?
Oh,
it's right there.
yeah,
It's under that tree.
yeah, it's under that tree.
It's under that tree.
do you mind if I come out and look at the ruts right there? I can walk down there
Yeah.
Uh,
That's where we.
sometime this week. I'll come take a look at it and see.
Right where it's at.
Grass is growing up, you would rip in it.
Sure.
Yeah. Be
Yeah.
careful.
But as long as you don't mind me walking over there and taking a look at it, I'll go there and take a look and I'll try to. We'll try to put something together and figure out what we can do.
Mhm.
They stop.
Is that all you guys have?
Probably
All right.
stops, but-
Well, appreciate it.
Do you have any?
Well, the water line is under. there.
There's,
There's
Really
water.
good.
You can speak with
We got.
unequivocally that is right there.
We got the tree straightened out, what are we gonna do about the sidewalk?
He's gonna go look.
I'm gonna go take a look at it this week and try to figure out.
I don't know that there's anything you can do with the sidewalk. Because Matt and I were discussing, there's a water line and a gas line, right,
Right there.
Close.
right by the,
It's-
it's literally underneath the tree.
Yeah.
Because it's right at the curve back.
So you don't be able to grind it. You don't be able to grind it.
Mhm.
So if you cut a tree down, the roots, quote unquote, will grow for 7 years.
Oh, really? After the tree's gone?
After the tree gone, the roots will stay viable for 7 years,
Don't they have that,
Backside.
possibly.
don't you have that stuff that you can put on it that will actually kill it all? the way
Hold
down?
on.
For- yeah.
Yeah. That'd be the way to take care of it.
Yeah, but
It takes.
it's still
Yeah, it
still
takes
gonna
a
be,
takes a
couple
long
year
time.
process.
Yeah, It takes a lot of time.
I mean, cause the wood will have to deteriorate,
Dying.
finally rot, that'll take 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate if you would take a look at the tree, Ron. Can you do that for us?
Jenny,
Then
what's your
figure out what you can do and then,
What's the proper address?
308 South River,
Okay, thanks.
right on the corner.
Yep.
Two-story grade.
That's true.
And then I'll go ahead and take a look for the ruts and stuff like that. We'll try to figure out a solution for you. Yeah. If I find something we can do for you.
Well, you know, back on the other end of the property by the new house.
Mhm.
I had a great big tree there and we was out at the Thanksgiving dinner to come home. And that tree was laid out, it was the same one, it was all over that.
Mhm. Yep.
And there was,
That's
when I had the guy come whack it off, the rest of it, cut it up. There was walnuts in there, this the, from the squirrel living in the thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't want that, you know.
Sure.
If somebody get, you know, if it falls on somebody's car or somebody walking on the side.
Yeah, it's a very busy intersection. I use it every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
coming home.
It is.
So,
That's a busy intersection
Mhm.
most of the day too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think next up is our town attorney. We're gonna do the communal capital development.
All right.
Those
public
items?
hearings. All
Yeah,
right,
public hearing items.
right, for the record, Eric Burns, town attorney, we have two public hearings this evening. The first one is CUM, or Cumulative Capital Development Fund. And that is being requested at a property tax rate of 5 cents per $100 of real and personal property. That would be for the year 2026, payable in 2027. And then thereafter until rescinded. Because it's cum cap, it's a little bit different than others. It causes the need for its own public hearing, which we were ready for as it was published for tonight. And so I would ask if you wouldn't mind getting a motion to open a public hearing on the cum cap development fund.
So I'll go ahead and make a motion to open the public hearing on the cumulative capital development fund. We have a second?
Second.
And a voice vote would be fine.
And then all those in favor? Sorry.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so we're now in public hearing. And Georgia, what else would you like to add as far as the cum cap?
The cum cap is currently set at 4 cents. So that what we are proposing tonight is to set it to its highest value of 5 cents. So the increase is 1 cent per 100 of assessed value. And that will generate another $7,800 a year for you to use for capital projects, vehicles, buildings, repairs and maintenance on buildings.
So, because it's a public hearing, anyone who is here who would like to have any kind of comment about this cum cap, now is the time to speak. If you wouldn't mind stating your name for the record and saying what you'd like to say about this cum cap development fund. Any public input on the cum cap? Hearing none, I would suggest a motion to close the public hearing on the cum cap.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to close public hearing on the cumulative capital product or development fund.
second.
And a voice vote would be fine to close.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And as far as the vote on that, Georgia, did you want to do that now? Want to do that later? However
We
you
can make a vote
think.
on it now if you guys are ready.
Yeah, I believe he's got the actual ordinance establishing the cum cap at a nickel per 100. And it would just take a motion, a second, and a vote on that.
Do we have a motion or do we make a motion again?
Hold on.
Oh, you're fine.
You said the resolution 26-137.
Ordinance 2026-660.
There it is, right at the bottom of it.
Okay, be the last one, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the ordinance of 2026-660 for cumulative capital development fund.
Okay, before we take a vote, does the council have any discussion that we want to make on this point? Or are we ready to make a vote?
Right.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
So when you sign this, it has a different kind of roster than you're used to. You do have to check the box, yes or no, sign your name.
All right. Get that signed first, I guess, or you want me to move on?
We can go move on. All right, I'm ready anyways, but
Very good. So the next public hearing has to do with an additional appropriation. The additional appropriation is set out for you in resolution 26-137. And for purposes of anyone who doesn't have a copy of it, it's looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different funds. The first one is ordinance violation. The additional appropriation is $5,300. The second one is local law enforcement, and that amount is $3,700. The third is rainy day, and that additional appropriation is $357,250. The fourth one is economic development, and that is $523,000 even. And the last is donation and grants, and that's $908. The law requires that there be a public hearing on any additional appropriations, since this is money that was not accounted for last year, and since you're going to be bringing it onto the table this year, it's necessary for the public to have input. And so, anything else we ought to talk about on the additional appropriation, Georgia?
The amounts are quite high, and I want to make sure that the council is aware of the purpose for doing this. The two ordinance violation and local law enforcement, those are to be spent by the police department for continuing education. We have not used them for a long time. We don't generate very much money in those per year. That's probably 5 to 7 years of accumulation, but it can be used if the police department needs to. If they don't use it, we can take it off the budget in the fall and reallocate it for next year. And that process can happen for all of these funds that we're doing an additional appropriation for now. We're accounting for them if you need to spend them. If you do not need to spend them, we'll do a reduction in our budget before we pass our 27 budget. And it'll take them off of this year and make them available for next year. Those projects have a way of going on and not getting
Right,
to
into
the
next
point where
year.
you need to spend the money. That's what rainy day and economic development work. We're in the middle of this gateway sewer project. We don't know exactly how that's gonna play out with the bond timing. If you need that money to loan to the utility in order to pay this initial bond payments until things get sorted out, it'll be sitting there waiting for you. If we don't need it, if the bond issue comes through, we pay our bills timely, then that can be either used for another purpose. We have some other projects in the wings that you might want to use it for, but at least it'll be sitting there in the budget for you to make that decision. Donation and grants, $908. Most of that is money that was donated by the family of Chuck Moulter in order to purchase something for the police department, and they spent some of it for a plaque, which I had hoped would be hanging tonight, but when we got it out of the bag to put it on the wall, it was the wood had shrunk and the metal part of the plaques were bowed on the top of it, and we had to take it back and have them fix that, so it'll be up next. But I wanted to get that additional appropriation for that because I thought with the force having a number of people now, they might have some ideas. The only stipulation the Moulter family made was that it be something for the police department, not just a random town hall thing, but something for the department that they want. So that's, there's some other money in there it's just been there for a long time, so I proposed to the council that money be made available along with the Moulter donation for whatever the department might want to use that. And then again, if you don't need to use this money, it can be a budget reduction in October. No worries.
thank you, Georgia. Okay, so we need to make a motion to open the public hearing, correct? We haven't done that yet, right? Okay, good. So I'll make a motion to open the public hearing on additional appropriations.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Bye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Yep, so we're in public hearing. Now is the time for any members of the public who'd like to express some opinion on this, please go ahead and do so. Identify yourself by name and tell us what you think. Any public comment? Hearing none, I would suggest a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for additional appropriations.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And you have resolution 26-137 in front of you, which is in a similar form that needs the signatures and check the box. So if you would entertain a motion to approve that,
Yep.
that would be next step, sir.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 26-137 for additional appropriations. And any comment by the council at this point? No. Just want to say I appreciate Georgia getting this put together for us. Like I said, I know it's. Yeah, we have a lot in the works right now, so there's a good chance we may need to dip into this at some point this year. So, all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
And this is the same one, the signature, and on the next page.
Okay, Mr. Burns, do you want to, I guess, I'm sorry, we need to approve our meeting minutes. Let's skip ahead just a little bit, for March 9th.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the meeting minutes for March 9th, 2026.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Mary Jo and a second by Steve. Any discussion? By council? No? All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Okay. Now I think we're ready for Mr. Burns.
They're good. UMH is moving and we are getting them a W-9, and my understanding is, and Chris, you can back me up on this to the extent you know something about it, is we're gonna get a payment on the 600. I think it was just under 600, wasn't it?
Actually, when all of it's in, it's about 6.
It's about 6, okay.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get a
Pretty close to
W-9, and my understanding from them is that they're gonna turn around and get that paid.
Yeah, there were a couple items to address on that final invoice from the town with everything in phase 1, but I talked to Georgia before and we'll make sure that that gets answered from our end tomorrow, so that
Right.
you could send it as soon.
And let me know if there's anything I need to do on that. I think I had the last communication with them in later or earlier today, so
Yeah, we
let me know if I
coordinate
can
to
do
make
anything.
sure that gets sent.
And then the next steps, phase 2 is a big decision. We've had some communication expressed to them that the way to do this is for them to be paying as we've talked about the whole time.
Right.
And as you folks have approved, and then they wanted to back up and talk about, well, maybe we could do a rate increase, and I said, this council is not in favor of that. They're gonna be the ones that make that decision. But here's some information for you. But this is not the route the council's interested in going. So that's where we basically left it. They asked for the information.
They haven't
Our
had any
account-
responses to that.
They haven't gotten any response for it. It sounds an awful lot like the people that we're talking to. Well, we know this, they're not the decision makers. They, we've got an engineer, we've got their lawyer. There's a CFO, or is that the engineer? Alan is
Alan is a
VP.
He's their engineer.
Yeah, so anyway, they may love it, they may be in 100% in control, and then they have to go up and report, and Cindy goes, well, have you asked them this? Well, no, we'll do that. So. I don't have any reason to believe that it's not gonna go through, but it's been a slow process.
Right.
So my suggestion is we take a look at it. Once that 600 is in, we give them a deadline and we deal with whatever occurs. And I think without a deadline, it's not gonna get anywhere.
We've been pushing for the signature since August
my.
of last year, I
Um,
think, to
Yeah,
officially sign off on
Yeah.
all these plans, and so
Yeah.
here we are 8 months down.
absolutely.
Do we have any leverage with phase 2?
Well, I think we have a lot of leverage because they
I know we
need,
did with
they
phase
need,
1.
they need the service. And it's, about the time I say it, there'll be a break, so I won't say it.
Yeah,
But we've had breaks before. There won't be any breaks in the future though, Ron. It's okay. I knocked on wood, we're fine. And you know, who suffers? Well, they're gonna suffer, that's for sure.
Right.
It's gotta get done. The question is, how's it get done? And you know, you folks could pass a rate increase.
Right.
For just them, if you wanted to. Which, you know, it's not as convenient for us, quite frankly. It's probably not as good for them in some respects, but that's something they have to decide. But that's the ultimate leverage in my view. Just pass it, say this is what we're doing and move forward. And then get our financing based on that. What's that?
So that'll get their attention, sir.
Yes, it would. And I don't think we're at that point, but it is
No, I
a
just,
slow slog.
no, I just,
And
I was finding that a month or two down, I
yeah,
feel we keep kicking this rock every month.
it keeps getting kicked, and there will be a time when we're gonna do something different.
Right, okay.
And I think getting the 600 paid is a good watershed, because they haven't written a check yet. They haven't done anything affirmative.
Because we're 2 months beyond when that work finished too.
Uh-huh,
So
exactly,
uh,
exactly.
it's been
And
operating.
part of that is because we didn't have all the final bills in,
Sure, but,
but that's only part of it.
right,
So that's where we are on it, and hopefully we'll get that paid quickly here. I don't know, I get a sense they're meeting monthly, that board that they report to.
I think that's what he said.
Seems like, yeah. So any questions on that?
I don't think I had any. Anybody else? No?
So, Jewett Street, we have a default judgment, which a judge, is going to sign, probably, not sure, I've got a copy of it, let me look real quick. In any event, the default judgment, is for several $1,000s, and I don't see it here, so I apologize, I can look it up, but, we need to decide what we want to do. It seems to me that if there are people interested in the property, that we ought to start talking to them. There's any number of landlords around who would look at it as an opportunity. We don't have the ability to sell them the property because we don't own it, but we do have the ability to have the property sold at sheriff's sale that would pay off our judgment. And we want somebody to show up, and we want 10 people to show up, and maybe we get our judgment paid. Maybe we don't, but again, we didn't get the judgment in order to get paid for it. We got the judgment in order to give us leverage to force the thing to get sold, because we got an absentee owner who, for all I know, is not even living. You know, there's just no, last report was, he left the country, and that's all.
I heard he was in Mexico.
Yeah,
That's what I
heard before. Yeah. So that's where we are on that, and we'll just keep on rolling. And it seems to me that if there's interest, you ought to be talking it up just to see if there are folks out there.
Yeah, I know Jim had brought up before he left that Habitat for Humanity was interested in the property.
Oh, good.
But in that that the town would need to purchase the house, and then we would like sell it back to Habitat for Humanity for an agreed amount. I'm not sure what that
There you
amount
go.
was. I have to ask Jim and go back and circle
Yeah.
back to him, but I know that was one option on the table. I don't personally know of anybody interested that wants to buy it otherwise, that would get out there and do it, but
And if Habitat is, then, you know, you have the ability, should you choose to do it, is to sell it to them for a dollar.
Right.
Since they're not for profit, but
Mhm.
that's your
Right.
call.
I believe that's what it was, that we sold them for. a
That's
dollar.
what I think that's how their model is set up. They're not paying for real estate.
Right,
So we buy it, pay ourselves off.
Mhm.
And then sell it for $1.
If we buy it, we're not paying ourselves off.
They didn't accept monopoly money.
Right?
at that point, it's just play money for
It's
us.
just play money.
It wouldn't really cost us anything, but we wouldn't
Right,
profit from it either, really.
yeah.
But it would be good PR for the town.
And that's
if
why if
we-
there's somebody there, great, you know, somebody's
Right.
not gonna spend X $1,000s for it, and not do something with it.
Right.
That would be unusual, when we put it that way. Most people are gonna have a good plan for it to get it renovated, get some tenants in there. And
I'm sure your father-in-law would be interested in the two apartments.
Yeah, I talked to him about it. He's just,
too much.
well, he would just want to tear the whole thing down, and I think it's too close to other houses. He worries about disrupting the neighbors when he does that. But he'd just soon tear it down than try to restore what's there. And
Probably cheaper.
yeah, I just don't, at this point, I don't think he's wrapping up one project. I don't know if he's looking to
Everything, Fred, we
jump into another one right away, so.
That would be part of that. Judge.
Yeah, that was part.
Mhm. You know, it's on-
And I think we did as much as we could with the judgment as I recall, correct? Or do you know where we are on that? I've forgotten.
I know.
Okay.
Does
Well,
the
that's a
car
good
come with the
question.
place?
Yeah, not really, not really.
What did
Well,
we
that-
do with that?
That park is blowing loose.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too, Steve. In all these
Let
windy
me
days you
ask
have
about
it,
that.
one of the
I
tarps just
forgot
got rolled
all
loose on
about
the
that
roof.
car. Yeah. Because if we need to go get another judgment, we might be able to do exactly that and say, hey, we need an order of abandonment.
Understand.
Then we just haul it and give it,
Yeah, registration.
sell it for $100 to whoever's
There's also
in the
a company you
business.
can donate cars to.
I was
Yeah,
just
donate
gonna
a car.
say,
Yeah, you
yes.
can donate the car.
And I'm not sure, do they take inoperable vehicles?
I have a
Yes.
contact with that company. I can
That'd
ask
be
if
great.
it comes down to it.
I think they do. Oh,
And then they just junk them.
yeah.
They make, you
And
know,
they
a
have
couple
different,
$100.
they have different places, like, they even have one for women with breast cancer, things like that.
If they can sell it for scrap parts, whatever, and benefit somebody, so,
Veteran.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Veterans.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I ain't gonna work.
Yeah. All right, I will look into that. And as far as the habitat, is there somebody reaching out there? Because we are to an
Yeah,
extent in charge of the timing here.
right.
Now, do we know anything, George, about tax bills on that place? I'm sure it's delinquent, but do we know how delinquent it is?
Not enough to go to tax sale until 26. So
Till
it would be
when?
the fall this year.
Well, and there it is, then we have less to do. Otherwise, we have to be the one moving forward to get a sheriff sale.
Okay.
A tax sale is a similar critter, but it's done by the county.
But it also takes another year. to
Yeah, and then they give them, they got a
Disposition.
year, I mean, there's complications with it, but I think it's just a matter of getting it done. Just keep going after it. I'd be very surprised if anybody does anything, yet somebody's paid taxes in the past. So that, I'm sure they're not much, but somebody's paying, and I don't know how it's, so. We'll get the best hold we can and make the best move we can.
Mhm.
But we are in charge to some extent of when that gets sold, unless it goes up to tax sale. If it does, then somebody's gonna buy it for something.
Right.
They're not.
And we assume they're
buying
gonna
it
do
just
something with it,
nothing.
not just keep looking at a full house.
Yeah.
So,
Any questions on that? And the other one is exactly where it's always been, which is nowhere.
yeah, and do we have any recourse, like as a council, to do anything like that, or?
It's a weird, really odd thing. I mean, you always have ultimate control of any property within your jurisdiction
Mhm.
because you have the power of eminent domains, which means you can buy things, you can pay people off for the fair market value of it. It's a process, but you can do it. Then what would you do? I don't know
Right,
what you
I
do.
just, I feel like the neighbors have to keep looking at it. It's basically a half-built house.
Yeah.
That is just sitting there and nothing's gonna get done with it.
Yeah.
It's gonna continue being what it is, if not worse.
And the last we looked, there weren't any over town code violations. Because I don't think it was considered to be in such a open system where kids would go in. I think it's closed,
Right.
my understanding. So there's no particular violations, which is, as you remember, is how we got Jewett Street where we are.
Right.
As slow as it's been, at least we got a judgment. And that's
Yeah.
a good thing. How you get a judgment against a place that's in compliance, you don't.
Right, and
Because they're
until
not
it
out
starts
of
falling
compliance.
apart,
Is it really in compliance? Because it is
I've been told.
it is a construction site. It's a half completed construction project. So isn't there some kind of code that covers that? As differentiated from a house that has
The build time.
mismatched siding, it has no siding. It's a construction project.
permits will expire, but I think it only matters if you continue working on it.
Yeah. Well, that's correct. I mean, they don't, they started, if they started working, as weird as it sounds, they get red tagged. You can't continue work because you don't have a permit. Because it's expired long ago. So that isn't what we want. That didn't help us any. And if it is not, if it is not considered a hazard to anybody. And that includes having openings for animals, openings for teenagers or whatever. Then I don't know what it's in violation of. Now, the only reason that I hesitate a little bit is it may be if we had, like, if we could get the county inspector
Yeah.
To come, housing inspector, maybe the housing inspector would come up with something we're not looking at.
Sure.
And I would think they would do that for us, so be good. I've forgotten the gentleman's name, who's the
Bill Robinette.
Robinette, yeah.
My wife does.
He might have a better idea than we.
Oh,
He will, she will.
My wife does his taxes, so.
Oh, there you go.
We got a phone number.
Hecked it all
Yeah.
So that's at least an
So
idea.
102 is the Tyvek house down here.
102 is the abandoned property with the tarp on the roof.
Oh, that one, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
on top of the hill. Down the hill is 504.
Okay,
on
and
the
I'm back,
floodplain. Yeah, sorry,
I mean,
they're
Ron,
both on
you don't
Jewett,
know
it's
what
confusing.
I know, I'm trying to look them up.
grass.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's in grass.
Now this George talked
Yeah.
neighbor into quick one over there and want it.
So you get a $250 fine at most,
Right.
where you go in and use it.
Per time.
Cut it,
Has
as
to be
whatever
done.
the cost of cutting it is, and you put that on the tax limit. I mean, there's something to be said for constant nag, enforcing the code that we have. Does that make them do something different? I don't know. Some people, yes, some people no.
Had the police department walked around that and see if there's any place open that people would. Then go in there and.
No, the only openings that we've seen, place would be, the concern would be rodents, with holes and raccoons and whatnot.
Well, I was
They
just
got
wondering
dug
in
up
the
pretty
back,
last
nobody
night.
sees, I mean, they're,
Yeah.
homeless, whatever.
Right.
Has there been any neighbor complaints?
Oh, yeah,
Okay, so there are,
yeah, they
Yeah.
came to one of our meetings.
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe a neighbor might buy that place and have a nice big piece of property.
Knock it down, have a big side yard.
Yeah.
Across the street yard.
There you go.
Somebody's paying the taxes and,
Right, like it's.
keeping it buttoned up for what reason, who knows?
Yeah.
Right,
Anything else on that?
I don't think
I
so.
don't have a good solution there. I think that may be it, huh?
I
At
think
the
that's
end of
all
my
we have
list.
for you. Unless you have anything for us,
No, I think so. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
thank you.
Have a good meeting.
Good night, Dirk.
Thank you. See y'all soon. If I don't see you, have a good trip.
Yes,
After the big all that.
that'd be nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So go ahead and move on to contract services. I don't think we'll have anything this month from the, our financial advisor, right? So we'll push that in May at least. BFNS?
Yeah. Chris Lemiak, Butler, Fairman and Seifert. Got a couple projects and items to give you a quick update on tonight. The Hawks Nest Lift Station project, Rock and Dirt is still on schedule to remobilize to the site later this month or May. Weather's an issue back there just because it's low and wet. It's been pretty rainy, so still on track for that, last I heard. Gateway Sewer, I think we talked a little bit about the financing considerations with UMH. Just a general update on the project. We've got all of our subs released to do their work and data collection and design for that. So the project continues to progress. We're to the point where we're gonna start getting meetings coordinated with some outside parties such as Tippecanoe County Highway Department to talk about easement and right of way that will be needed along Prophets Rock and 600 and 650. So those will be coming shortly as we get those coordinated. Yeah, design's progressing pretty well. Bowen is to the point on phase one where it's substantially complete. There are a couple items remaining, long lead items on some electrical systems, heater and a generator receptacle to get that station finished up, but those are time dependent. When they arrive, they'll get installed and that'll get completed and moving there. You may have seen our folks out here in the past week or two. We had our environmental services team out doing their wetland delineations and other fun things along there. So that'll be an item that we use to help determine installation methods and exact locations for a few of the sewer sections to avoid having to do wetland mitigation or other restoration items related to that. So design's progressing on phase 2 and phase 3, and then we have some regular check-ins with Bowen just to make sure that they're understanding of the schedule that we have, and then we get some feedback from them on what their schedule will be in terms of getting GMP reports together for those subsequent phases, so that's continuing on. Any questions on Gateway before I keep moving?
So I think from your standpoint, we're doing pretty well with that. We can get UMH.
And
moving with
that's
that.
kind of one of there's a lot of moving parts with the project for sure. There are a lot of sections and components that are gonna be time dependent. One of the big ones is going to be easement and right of way acquisition. There's going to be some sections where the town will need to purchase new easements or establish new easements for this sewer route. However, we want to make sure, from our end, we want to make sure that for lack of a better term, cash flow with UMH is locked in before we go acquiring easement at. We don't want to get the town in a position where we're so far ahead when the cash is flowing in from the user like UMH that we don't want to overextend. That's-
Right, no, I completely agree.
So there's a little bit where we're trying to be strategic with the timing of those items so that we know that we're in a good position overall as a project, because we can push things on our end, but if we're lagging behind with something like UMH, that's not a position.
No,
If that, does that make sense?
no, we don't want to put the cart before the horse on that.
Exactly.
So,
So it's a frustrating balance. I think Eric kind of alluded to it, and we understand the position that our UMH contacts are in.
right, and they have a board they have to report to as well, so.
Yeah.
That,
That doesn't excuse it.
no, but it just, I mean, it helps explain from our end. We're not part of those meetings, so.
Mhm. Right.
Well, and that's a big corporation too, and we're a small part of their problems. The same.
I'd say that, but I do think that their attorney and their engineer, who are responsible for more than just that property, have understood the urgency of it, but I do think that there's maybe they don't have the way to
Yeah.
get that urgency together. Yeah. I'm confident we'll get it.
At some point.
Have we contacted the people where we have to get right of ways from yet?
They have, a number of them have gotten kind of some initial notice on that just by virtue of being within the project limits, seeing our survey teams out there, seeing our other teams out there, but they have not officially been contacted for easement and right of way purposes yet.
Oh, I hope it's not like Hawks Nest was.
There's lessons learned that will definitely be applied for that process.
I wasn't a part of that, so.
Make sure there's nobody's house in your easement, right? They're part of their house in your easement.
Oh,
Make
yeah,
sure there's not a house in the easement. They're part of the house.
built over the line, yeah.
Okay,
I've got a couple other ones. The Shawnee Ridge, that pond that we've been working with, we did have a meeting with several of the property owners. And then Matt and Ron were there as well, to kind of catch everybody up on what the issue was, make sure that BFNS understood the concerns that the residents had, and then make sure that that was relayed to all parties appropriately. I did pass out a preliminary exhibit for what we're proposing for improvements in that area. Basically, the Easter property has a riprap swale that comes through it from the pipe outfall, which collects about 23 acres of drainage from the subdivision. That's then discharged on an easement that's on their property into a riprap swale, but then that just dumps out onto a grassed area and makes its way to the pond. Path of least resistance. So that's cut its own little
It's
channel
cut its
through.
own, yeah.
So we're proposing basically extending that riprap swale down to the pond, sweeping it out a little bit further so it's got a longer path. That longer path will allow us to slow it down. So its erosive properties are lessened through there. Yeah. So there are a couple more details we're working through on their map, but it's probably to the point where you can start getting some preliminary takeoffs for that. The additional items that we have to address would be seating mixtures and some other items like stuff.
Yeah, we got some good intel over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they've been, the residents have been gracious enough to share some photos and videos of the rains. They're honestly, you can see the number on the paper and says, 12 cubic feet per second or whatever, but to then actually see the picture, what it is doing out there, it's very helpful, very helpful.
The water
Yeah.
to move.
So it's
I've done more.
Now we know where to go whitewater rafting.
So that's Shawnee. The last item I wanted to touch on really quickly, there was a subdivision meeting with the county earlier today. A major subdivision sketch plan review for the Greystone subdivision up between Muncie and 300. That's in the preliminary stages. I do need to apologize publicly for Ron. I think I got a little bit ahead of myself when we were talking about utility availability to this site in the context of sanitary sewer. The county usually requires that if there is a municipal sewer or utility available within 300 feet of the property development, that property or developer would be required to connect to that. This one's a little unique, but also not that unique. The topography in Battleground is often challenging for connections to existing utilities. Technically, there is a sanitary sewer on Muncie that is within 300 feet. However, there's a pretty significant, and Matt's not in here, there's a pretty significant ravine in between that property and that manhole. So it's not a easy or it's not an easy place to connect to. The thing that I think I got ahead of myself with during this meeting was potential alternate routes for connection. Ron and I had a brief discussion that I did not carry through in this meeting very well about the potential of, well, what if the town or town residents, developer, some combination of that were to look at the opportunity to install a sanitary sewer on County Road 300 that could serve this and other residents along that route. So it was briefly touched on in this meeting, but the long and the short of it is I think that there would be a benefit to having a smaller group follow up, maybe a couple members of the council, Ron, BFS, and this developer to discuss if there are other opportunities to try to get sanitary sewer to the site for use. I think the developer would be just fine with well and septic, but I think we need to make sure that the town and all parties are doing due diligence to see, but is that the best long-term solution, or are there other
It would
mutually beneficial
Definitely increase our ratepayers, and that would help out the utility quite a
It's
bit.
about 14.
Oh, 14 ratepayers,
Yeah, that's
okay,
fair.
so it wouldn't be huge, but that's right, it's a
It's
small,
14 lots,
right,
but they're $1 million homes,
right,
so.
They are targeting a much higher end.
right, yeah, I remember that now, it's kind of like a little L shape that has about 14 lots on it.
Yeah.
I've seen that now.
So I think the county would need a letter from the town giving the developer final, like, yes, you can do well and septic, or no, we need you to connect to sewer. Here's the route. So I think it'd be worth having a meeting of some sort to get the town's position finalized.
Somewhere around 14,000.
Around 14,000.
That we would in ratepayer or in rates. I mean,
Then you have your tap on them.
nothing.
Per year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any action tonight, but it may be,
Yeah, no, I think,
I wish we would have had this a couple weeks so we could have addressed it in the meeting we had.
no, I get that, and I understand that timing doesn't work out, but
What are those lots?
They range between, and they average, yeah, right, they average at 0.9 acres.
shy of an
A
acre.
couple are larger, a couple are little smaller.
Doesn't the county require that you have 2 acres though?
So that's for a rural subdivision.
A rural something.
Yeah,
yeah,
It'll be a 20-year, it'll be a 21 situation.
Is that area considered in the town of Battleground?
No.
they wouldn't be a taxpayer, but
So the gentleman right across from where this subdivision.
it's.
He- Right
This is
now,
the-
he is in an emergency situation with the health department. His septic failed
mhm.
Oh,
because he's in a low. area, and he's been begging the ties. And I don't know how many other people in that, we do have on 300, we do have, I believe, 4 or 5 that are tied into us. So what I had said to Chris in our meeting was, yeah, I get it, it's a long stretch. But if we went down that utility easement and caught, cause the Woods Edge pipe is just gonna sit there.
Oh, yeah.
We can't abandon it there
Right.
because we have people just up from that
Mhm.
that are tied on.
And it wouldn't be that much of a strain on this current system either, but 14 additional houses on there. 15 additional houses.
Well.
But-
In a rain event, yes, it would.
Okay.
Something to think about.
Having a little break.
Yeah, no, I
can
completely agree.
follow up with
I completely
that
agree.
Tomorrow or.
Yeah. It's. Yeah. Mary Jo, would you like to just join me on that? You and I have been kind of tackling the sewer utility stuff.
I can do that.
I'd like to, even if we just
We-
tack it into one of our monthly meetings or do a Teams call separate of that. Whatever works best for you guys and just timing for all parties.
Yep, we'll get a chain on that going tomorrow.
That'd be awesome.
Alrighty. Do you guys have anything else for us?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Is there anything else on your agenda you'd like us to stick around for?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Happy to stay, but we're also happy to go see.
I was gonna say.
Nice night.
So nice. There's some storms brewing, so.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is
Alrighty.
it, playing golf?
I have no idea.
Take a good day off.
He did take care.
He met his parents, I think.
Oh, okay.
Something.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you. Okay, so no updates from Bowen Collection at this point. I think we're ready for Georgia. This one would be,
Available register. The very last entry is the payment for the Woods Edge listed.
yeah,
So that's why the total for this
so high.
month is so high, $187.
Almost 3/4 of it right there.
$49.84 and over 400 and over 323, 750, that was the one.
Is one payment. And we're gonna get that back here shortly, we hope.
Yeah,
They cut that check to us,
yes.
so.
I don't hear it, so.
So that was for the purchase of the pumps, correct? That was for the purchase of the pumps that went in
You know, that whole lift station.
and all the materials
Not the
required,
fencing, yeah, not the fencing and the installation, but the
right?
unit that's.
So this pays for most of the equipment, not their labor.
So that was to the manufacturer themselves.
Right.
Yeah, Gorman Rupp, I believe, yeah. Okay,
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to accept accounts payable voucher for March 10th to April 13th of 2026 at the amount of $487,249.84.
So,
motion by Mary Jo, second by Matt. Any discussion on this, council? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Okay,
You had in your packet a fund report, which. Current balance column, some of that is in the local bank, some of that is in Trust Indiana. You're still making 10 to 12,000 a month in interest in the money market account there. So that adds up.
right,
That's not budgeted anywhere in this year. Specifically, it's in our budget in each fund, but when we did the additional appropriation, we can only use the amount that we had on January 1.
Right.
So all the money that's coming in after that will still be in the fund for us to use next year. nothing specific on any of those. Unless you have questions on them. I had hoped to give you something specific about my recommendations on software for the Office of Fund Accounting Software. There are 3 companies. And one of them kind of fell out. I don't know if one of the principals has a issue, medical issue or family issue. I don't know. I just stopped hearing from him. So it's kind of down to 2. And I will invite anyone that's interested to a work session to learn more about them. But if you're satisfied that I'll figure it out with Chad and others, you're not obligated to come, but I'll just leave it. It's gonna be
that-
expensive no matter how we place it. We're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to software adoption and stuff like that. It's something that I do.
Times what we're used to spending on software because it's cloud and it's,
They basically get the price because they're hosting it for us. They're gonna migrate our data for us. They're going to, yeah.
it's
So-
just trying to get the best. They're all kind of comparable price wise
Sure.
in the very end.
And they have to be.
Who has the best option for us with MuniLink,
Yeah.
which is our billing, which I'm not gonna change.
Right.
So they have to talk to that, whoever we choose has to talk. to them.
Yeah, and usually there's APIs and stuff like that they can leverage that MuniLink probably has, and then they're, it'd be allow their software to plug into it. I mean, it's pretty technical. I'm not a developer,
And
and so,
last month, Dan announced to the Conservancy that the company that he favors, the meters and the meter reading technology, Neptune, is now associated with MuniLink. So I feel confident we've got a good choice.
City of Lafayette uses Neptune as well for their meter reading stuff, so we develop with them. So,
Unless there's any questions, that's all. I have.
I'd be interested to look at that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then we can lump that in with our committee discussion because we might want to create some new committees and stuff like that, but not that we have immediate work for all of them, but at least we can have like a committee standing by and ready to go in case something were to come up on that. So we're gonna talk about that here in a little bit anyway. Updates from our police department.
Okay, got a few things on the agenda. I'll try to be brief on them, no promises. So we had a question brought up last month about RVs in Charlie Ridge. We've got several ordinances that we can work off of. Ordinance 308, vehicles over 9,000 gross vehicle weight, they can park in public areas from 9 PM to 5 AM. Most motorhomes will exceed that weight. We have ordinance 13-516 campers and trailers on streets, 24-hour max. Arguably that can apply to motorhomes. The language is more toward towable vehicles. It's kind of ambiguous, but we can make that argument. If it becomes a problem, we could probably dress up that ordinance as well. We have ordinance 176, any vehicle, RVs are included by definition. Left on a public premise for 7 more days without moving could be considered abandoned. That'll trigger tagging and removal process. We have ordinance 321, abandoned vehicles in public view on public or private property can be considered a nuisance. That's under IC code 91321. So we got that to throw in the toolbox for the nighttime officer, especially the evening ordinance on that, so.
Are we still parking there? No.
Must have been off like I think they were visiting them,
Right.
but
Extended
they
stay.
were, but yes, I mean, it was at least 5 days that they were there.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
I know there's a lot of people that come back from Florida. And they visit on the way back, so that might be what it was.
I got a question. There at Sherman Tippecanoe,
Mhm.
right there in the corner. They got all them junk cars there.
I noticed that, and that's been there for a while. I didn't know if that was a long-standing agreement with that, because I think, doesn't he race cars or do something with?
Well, they go up to Henry's or Chase or wherever, but still there's junk, I mean, they're just framed there, and then on the side there's a junk car that's all tore out, I mean.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it looks like a big
So I was,
junkyard.
I was curious about that as well. I was asking BJ, is there some special issue with this? Because otherwise I'd be happy to have that
So I don't
discussion.
know what special issue he would have. I mean, they would have with him.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some committees will sponsor, race cars or derby cars or whatnot. So I didn't know if that was some special situation with them.
I don't think so.
But it was, because that's
Not-
been there
not
since
a
I
case.
started. So I didn't know if that was some long-term
No,
issue
not
with
a
that.
case.
So very good. We do have a fuel invoice that came to our attention that was from the end of 2025 that needs to be addressed. I'd like to request that the board approve this for immediate payment. That's to Newton Oil for the sum of $2,111.
That's even.
Even.
Here's one of
They're
them.
sending those, why wouldn't they send those to our office?
Don't know that answer to that one, but we just received this again. So did you get a copy of it?
Hey, if I had received it.
Yeah, I don't know where if that got lost in the shuffle or working, but I know that needs to be addressed, so. request that.
So.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion
Mhm.
to pay the bill for fuel for the police department of $2,111.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Mary Jo, second by Aaron. All those in favor?
I,
All right, I should ask for any discussion.
So this was overlooked last year. They didn't send a bill or, I mean, what?
We don't know, we just received that back, and like, hey, so, I just, okay, this needs to be.
What's the date on it?
I'm sorry,
What's the date on it?
December.
December.
oh,
Yes, I don't know if that's built quarterly or,
December first,
Where's it been sent? What's the address for it?
well,
Yeah.
100 College Street, but that's not a. I mean, sometimes they will
That's
deliver
gotta be a
things.
PO
but
box,
it's a
don't it?
PO box.
Right.
Yeah, we get stuff that. Our address every now and then from here. Yeah. If not, sometimes it floats around. but-
Does them bills come to you?
There's,
That
there's
fuel
both-
bill?
yeah, if they had mailed it, it would come to you.
That's the right address, yeah.
Right.
That's what. We'll have people put 172 west and 1250 south Battleground, Indiana, and every now and again we get it. If not, it's, it floats. It floats.
My father actually works in Newton Oil. I can
oh,
talk to him about who we need to call and talk to, see if we need to get an update to the address that we have on file with them, so that they are aware of PO box.
They don't deliver this
I
to
told
us,
you,
they
he's
deliver this
connected
to West
to
Side, so my guess is
Right.
it initially went to
Well, it's not good.
wherever you fill up. Where do you go to fill up your vehicles? Is it
the sheriff's department,
Lafayette or West Lafayette?
it's.
Lafayette.
It's Lafayette.
Yeah.
Tippecanoe County?
Tippecanoe County.
It's
So I
just
guess
outside
they
city,
probably
yeah.
Billed them first, cause that's where they dropped the fuel. And then we figured out that nobody paid them.
Might interest them.
There's a change in the IC code. We get a code now that requires us to have a formal tow contract. In the years past, it was just a handshake agreement with the prior marshal. Now by IC code, now we have to have a formal towing contract. So I'd like to request that the board approve a draft of the tow or tow agreement be sent to Eric Burns for review and approval.
so who's the towing company?
Pearson's Recovery.
What's that?
That's on 1414 Canal Road.
Oh, okay, I know where you're at now.
Duke currently does all the towing for the town
Yes.
right now anyways, so it
Okay,
would just continue that service I think we currently have.
are they, that had our name on the side of their town?
Yeah, probably serving. He's got
Serving.
several different communities that he's.
Beautiful.
towed.
Yeah, it's gorgeous,
You're
yeah,
gonna have your name on a truck, that would be.
that's the one. I'd like to make a motion to accept Pearson contract.
I think
Just a tow agreement.
Oh,
that needs to-
He's gonna have Eric go draft a tow agreement for us.
yeah, okay. I don't need to do any of that.
Yeah, I think we'll just adopt that agreement once it's official, like once Eric drafts it for us and
Got
we'll
it.
we agree on it as a council, I think.
Yeah, we got the draft.
I do.
And we sent to Eric and.
Okay, yeah. I think we're good there. So, okay. Is that all yet?
No.
No, okay,
I just
sorry.
got started. so-
Yeah, sorry.
You go, dude.
Yeah. So, when, Marshall Moyers took over as interim, town marshal at the end of 2023, the police department was working off of just a handful of outdated and undated, policies. So there was an agreement, late 2023 or early 24 that we had just a Band-Aid policies that were put in place temporarily until we can get a more formalized policies put in place. Marshall Moyers have been working on that draft the last few months. And he's come up with 59 general orders.
Wow.
That needs to be, don't you peek at those?
So you finally come up with SOP?
Awesome.
Well, those had to be literally started from the ground up. So, those were drafts from that we had used. From the International, Chiefs of, Police Society, so, and also, the CALEA, which is a committee on authenticating, law enforcement agencies. So those are under those standards and formats. And if you look through there, you'll see that there's, it'll skip chapters, so it'll go from like 1 to 4, from 30 to 33, and there'll be some blanks. That's literally a living document. So as the PD expands and grows throughout the years, those don't have to be revised, they can just be added to. So like if we ever get a canine program, that's just an extra chapter that we don't have in there right now that can be added to it. So I'd like the board's approval to temporarily adopt those, so that those could be put in place immediately, and then pending approval from Eric Burns, be sent to him for review and adoption.
I actually, this is just me, I would like a chance to go through that before I adopt anything. So. It's just my feeling, but I would like to,
Agree with
yeah,
that.
I like to have a chance to read it, so. If we leave it, can we leave it here, Fred, and then we can come in and read as we want to?
Yeah, I believe Marshall Moyers can send electronic copy to each of you.
If you
That's
could,
what I was gonna
that would
ask.
be even
That'd be
better.
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huge. You might wanna reconsider how you do that, not send a copy, cause that's.
Yeah, you could put that on flash drive and get that.
Yeah.
to you.
Because for sure that'd be more than 25 megabytes, which
Yeah.
was the limit for an email attachment.
I was gonna say,
I
my
don't think you can-
Gmail will go.
There's no pictures in it, so.
If you can leave this copy here. Then, you know, people like me or Steve, we can stop by and,
Yeah, once you want that adopted.
I'd like to have it adopted immediately, that way the the officers are covered, the town was covered under those policies. And it'd just be a temporary adoption, which is kind of standard for most agencies anyway. That way it puts us under that protection of those, and then it's still under the adoption and review of Eric Burns for the town.
So Eric Burns is gonna review this?
Correct,
Okay,
yeah, for formal adoption.
yes. That's a,
But a temporary, if we do the temporary adoption today, that allows us to work under those. And then as we have a town attorney review those and adopt them permanently.
I still feel better about, this month, I will read through stuff. And then we can do something with it next month. Yeah, I'm just like that, but I would like to take a look at it.
so we don't do like a temporary vote today to pass these, what would you do differently?
We're just still working under the temporary orders that we had in place.
3 years ago.
Is there anything that is in here that's like hindering you from doing something until it can be adopted?
Not hindering us, but there's protections under there for officers in for the town.
Like what in particular is something that is probably something that happens frequently that you would be concerned about?
So those set standards for different instances, let's say domestics or an OWI or
Mhm.
suicidal subjects.
Mhm.
It sets a pattern and procedures for us
Mhm.
to act under. So
Sure, But what would be like, maybe, let me think about it. So, like, what are you not going to do in those three instances that you brought up? Going in this interim period before these are adopted, like what is gonna change if any of those things happen?
Well, that,
Where are we liable or where are you liable?
right, so officers right now are basically acting under good faith. Policies, we're trying to do the. Or we'll handle that case at our best good faith actions, right? Those set standardized procedures at the handle these different
Okay,
incidents, right?
okay,
So they're all standard, I mean, with us and county, state police, West Lafayette on DUIs and.
Most of
And
them,
drug,
yeah,
correct?
most of them will transfer from agency to agencies, but bigger and smaller departments will have different.
I mean, you don't do
Different
anything,
verbiage.
we don't do anything, or you don't do anything different with a DUI or domestic that the county wouldn't do you?
No, just, well, because of the facility, like, county would have a directive like. Due to inclement weather, we'll transport them to the county facility to use this area to do the standardized field sobriety testing, right? We would bring them either up here or to a different facility to do that. Just based on the different number of officers that are involved, county or west side or Lafayette would have 3 or 4 officers that can come up and to assist. That would be under their standard operating procedures. Our operating procedure, like, we would contact county for assistance or any close agency to help out. So it's just, it fine tunes it to this department as opposed to any other agency.
I still think we can wait.
I was gonna mention to Aaron, one of the things that Jerry had done a number of years ago was do a standard operating procedures. He did an update to what they had used for years before then because of our insurance policy, but it basically says, do you have
That's okay.
procedures or no, yes or no?
Mhm.
So it's not like we're missing costly level of
Okay.
care in not passing this
Gotcha.
today.
okay, that, yeah, I didn't know where we were like falling through the cracks by not. But yeah, I agree, we should,
And through my experience, from the previous employer, anytime that there's a critical incident, the first thing that always is afterwards SOPs and training records. So that's why formalized
Yeah.
policies like that covers not only us, but the town and also provide better service for the community as well.
gotcha.
So an agreement to table that until next month, until we have a chance to read it.
The next I have is electronic time cards. We're requesting that the board approve to move to an electronic time card submission using an application. This is a standard practice that most surrounding agencies use anyway. They just kind of like to upgrade ours, and I believe Marshall Morris is working with Aaron on that. Did he discuss that with you? Okay, but he'd like to work with you on to start with that.
Yeah, I think there needs to be some new type of procedure or protocol that you guys have that works.
Yes.
And if it's electronic, that's great. Maybe the software system that you have, does it have any type, the new software system that you're getting, does it have any kind of time card system in it?
No, the payroll will go with the fund accounting and I haven't asked them about that.
It'd probably cost money. I mean, it's gonna cost money anyway.
It's gonna-
Yeah. But there may be a discount if you're with an existing system or the systems that you're using. Does it have a time card?
We don't, we're
Okay.
using paper system before we're trying to.
Yeah, but I don't know what, like the software that you're using for your reports and everything.
Oh.
If there's any function that,
No, not
okay.
that.
I have a lot of feelings about the time card deal,
Mhm,
so if we're gonna talk about that offline, I would like to be involved.
mhm. Yeah, I think there needs to be some pretty clear directive from that works for Georgia, that also works for you guys. So you can, first of all, find out kind of where the issue lies, if the problems are with it, because it seems to be that there's a problem now. with the time card system, getting a time card in, so. Yeah, I think we should just work together and figure it out, and if an electronic time card system is the answer to that, then. It'll probably cost money, but
We're shifting that.
Yeah.
electronic time card,
Yeah.
yeah.
Purdue is always electronics now.
So where? I'll have questions for you then too, because the biggest issue with the clerks' training sessions is. When you use an electronic time card, where is the person when they are?
So
That's the biggest issue with clerks and electronic time cards is where are they when?
So City of Lafayette, what we do from an IT perspective is we geofence it. So you have to be physically at one of our facilities before you're allowed to clock in. And so if your GPS data does not support that clock in time, then it will flag in the system.
Yeah,
We used to have
stuff.
lists for the guys on the job site and it's still fed.
You actually have to be physically connected to the city network
okay,
before clock in even is counted.
okay,
For us, that we don't even have
Right.
25 people on a time card. You know, the paperwork's pretty good.
Sure. But I mean, that's how the city has approached it. The software has that built in to where you can
But
say that only these IP addresses are allowed to clock in
500
from.
people clocking in, then yeah. it
yeah,
starts-
I mean, I work with
starts to
software
be some
developers,
cost
we were worried about
issues there.
there. I never would have thought of that, but that's it, you make a good point, yeah, you're right.
So.
But it sounds
Yes.
like there's answers.
At a cost.
At a cost.
Technology.
Right. So,
Okay, just a quick update on 107 North Railroad building. We had a contractor come out the other day to take a look at it. He's in the process of preparing a quote based on the building's current condition and designs. That's just an update. Officers attended a 3-day Marshals Association training conference. Officers received a very large portion of their state mandated training for the year just at that conference, as well as the 2026 legal updates. As far as the employee handbook, we'd like to encourage the town board to create the employee handbook so that all departments can operate under the clear parameters and expectations, and we can all work, for the group intention. Finally, I want to update you on the department's monthly activities. Patrol officers conducted 41 traffic stops and we reported to 54 calls for service. That included 3 arrests, direct orders or in assisting. That includes 2 OWI arrests, and we also have a breakdown of calls for service if you'd like to see those. Other than that, that's all I have. Yes.
A comment about the handbook, what chapters are not working for the department at this time?
I think it's just more of a request for a completed handbook. But I've not seen one. Do we have a,
We do, we've had one for years,
okay,
so I would
Guess
need
it's-
to
I guess
know
it's
what
for-
chapters of it don't fit.
well, I guess the major concern right now is for the timekeeping. Yeah, that needs to be updated.
Georgia, can you send copies of what you have currently? What the handbook
it
is?
is on the Battleground website under the ordinances. There's a handbook there.
Okay,
And I was going through it. It was
is it
draft.
employee handbook?
It is employee handbook. It
Okay.
was drafted in 2008. There's just,
Okay, so that one may not be the right one, I didn't.
okay,
realize
'cause that's the one I was
I did not
referencing when I
realize
sent that
it
email.
was
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the-
it has a few minor updates, one in 09, one in
It should
10, and
be
one in 11, like an
on the
update in
website.
11.
I don't think it should
But,
be on the website. Should it be on the website?
it
I didn't
is,
put it on
I
there,
don't-
so I don't know.
yeah.
Let's,
It might have gone in with, is it in the code?
I believe it's in the resolution section.
Okay.
It's in our town resolutions.
Okay.
Like it was drafted in 2008. None of us were around when it was drafted. That's primarily my HR policy update thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was working off that thinking, if this is our handbook and it kind of flies in the face of a lot of what we're currently
Mhm.
doing, I think we need
I'll
to,
email all of you the
Okay.
current one.
okay.
I'm 100% sure that BJ got. Okay.
can you email it directly to everybody?
Yeah.
And then I think the best thing would be to everybody look at it. And then we request feedback from everybody. Now, whether that feedback is law, I don't think that's the case. We'll still kind of review it. But I think feedback is important to get from everybody, especially if there's something missing or something is maybe contradictory in it. It's
It's
just-
from 2008, I'm sure that's. one of the-
Well, I
Well,
think there's another one.
Chief indicating there's another one.
Yeah.
I was reading the one on the website from 2008, and that's where a lot of my contradictions I was finding came from, and so.
In legal, through all of our ordinances and resolutions, usually they left the resolutions out and they just used the ordinances that affected the
Those are
people
fine.
who live here, like parking fines and things like that. And that's why I'm surprised to hear you say that it's on there at night.
Yeah, no, there's one from 2008, and I thought that was the only one that did, so that's maybe my ignorance on that part, so. And again, that's what generated my message to the group about wanting to discuss that further, because I felt like. What we're doing, and I don't think what we're doing is wrong, like, I pointed out that. That one indicates that employees are paid every week on Friday, and we're currently not doing that, so we need a document that reflects what our current processes are, but. I see
Yeah,
this one's dated 2023. I've not seen that. So I'm guessing that that is more reflective of what we're currently doing.
yeah, I think this is the one that we should be working from and
Yeah.
adjusting if needed.
So I wasn't aware of that, and I
Updating.
apologize for that. That's my mistake.
That's fine.
So,
I asked for it directly.
I got a question. If you're gonna get an estimate on construction on 107. I thought we're gonna dump money into that. And we don't know whether we're gonna keep it or not.
It's still up for debate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna dump money into it. I don't know how many thousands of dollars or whatever it's gonna cost us, whatever they wanna do to it.
yeah, well, I think the idea right now is to get estimates to understand what it would cost to do anything with that building, like, see what it's gonna take. I think, you know, our new town hall, our discussion topic there, we really need to, I think as a council, decide what we want to do. I feel like we danced around it a lot last year, but we never really talked about any concrete ideas about what town hall is going to be, what it's going to include. Are we gonna build a municipal campus that includes a police department and a town hall and, you know,
Well, I think town hall for 107 is out. I don't think we do anything with that, will we? With
Town
107.
hall there?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that was out.
I thought-
TC's one to buy it.
Didn't
Yeah,
we,
the building isn't shaped the right
Yeah.
way for us for town hall.
didn't we talk about a little bit a while back, tabling it until we figured out what was gonna go up towards the 43 area and then develop from there.
See, that,
That was the last I
that's what I was
remember.
talking about, you know, whatever it costs, I mean, we can sell 107. You know, and
But didn't we
Took
talk
that
about
money
utilizing that?
down
for-
here,
Then we talk about utilizing that for the intern. For a police department, rehabbing this because we didn't know what the timeline was up the hill to be able to make that happen. And we needed to get monies moving from up there before we actually built the town hall that was the way I took it a while back, but maybe I was not, I might have been.
I mean, if they wanna, you know, pay for the estimate, that's fine, you know.
well, the estimate is not gonna cost them anything. They're not gonna charge for
That's
this.
fine, I just.
They're using the plans that were provided to determine materials and things like that and kind of give them a raw number so that we have something that you want as a council and even and consider what we want to do going
If
forward.
that was like, you know, before you come on board, you know, they said, well, I'll take that, but it won't cost nothing. You know, it won't cost us nothing. Well, it's costing us.
Sure.
I think we revamped that though at some point in time because we had reached out, wasn't it your friend or something?
Yeah, Maddie, she drew
Maddie
plans
did
for
drew
us.
plans for that and this one both, correct?
She hasn't done this building yet. We need to get that one done.
Talk
So
about
we
that.
have, yeah.
Yeah, we found some stuff around.
Before you told, we had a question from the gallery that I wanted to allow some time for before we totally leave the general orders. I'll read the question, I don't, Joe might want to speak up, but wanted to know if the public could look at the proposed general orders.
Yeah, those are up for a FOIA request.
Okay.
I did that.
Okay.
It's just fingers.
Thank you.
So this is for anybody's eyes.
Yeah, on the phone, we play it.
And that would be to view or copy
About 8 hours.
Take longer than
I mean, how much are you guys
Copy
gonna
on
understand
file,
of that?
view or copy the copy on file.
Is
Is that right?
Right?
I'll understand.
I think a lot of it too is just to
Copy
figure out
pages
what is
of the
different or what
Copy
is.
we have
Well,
on.
that's what you
Yeah.
asked, is what I've been asked.
Right.
Like,
And
I mean,
I'll ask that
if
eventually.
it's temporary, I honestly, as an outsider, I'm curious why you question the police so much. To me, you guys seem to like always, well, I'm not so sure. I don't think you should, and I understand because you're working on a budget, but they're not really asking you to go outside of the budget too much. But even this, like, they wanna protect us, they wanna work under certain stuff. I don't understand why you guys,
There's probably some underlying things that has happened between us and the police department, even though we're all on good terms.
yeah,
There's been some situations where, we maybe haven't been fully informed.
well, that
We
makes sense.
haven't been told everything. Plans change without us knowing.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm saying. Nothing against the police, because they are doing a very good job, but there's a. Measure of question on my part, and I'm only talking about me.
Yeah.
But,
And I see it.
yeah,
I mean, as an outsider, I see it.
well,
You,
and
it's,
so that you should know. That it's good for you
yeah,
that I question,
yeah. No, and
Right.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
yeah. I say, I understand, I try very hard not to say too much in a public. Venue,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope that most of the stuff that we can do is internal and that you guys always feel safe. And taken care of, but there are some questions on my part. And so it won't hurt the police department to work for one more month. On what they have right now. So that we can actually take a good look at that and find out, because what is on the books right now is about this thick. Most of that is probably out of the state statute or something that they've copied from. Is that, am I gonna,
We drafted from, I can give you a brief. Description of, an outline of what it is. So there's 59 general orders, covering every major operational area. Use of force, arrest, search and seizure, evidence handling, criminal investigation, internal affairs. Hiring, training, body worn camera, vehicle pursuit, towing, prisoner transport, domestic violence, I mean, all these different attributes, right? There's 59 field reference cards in there, so these are one-page quick reference guides for the officers to refer to. And they can keep those with them in their squad cars. 31 operational forms, so these are use of force forms, inventory forms, evidence forms. Any form that we would need for our investigations, we have a hard copy in there. There's 506 legal citations that have been verified. Every Indiana code, section, federal statutes, case law citations in the manual have been independently verified against the primary legal resource. And confirmed through the current as being current as of the date of that publication. Again, there's a master index of all 31 forms that we'll be using for the police department. Any investigation that we do is in there. So that just was, we're gonna formalize everything.
So I wanted to respond to Julie too. I'm interested in how the general orders interface with my department, because we made some requests of the police department that I thought were fairly simple and came back with flow chart that I really haven't had time to and figure out how that flow chart affects what we do, if it does at all. So there are some things that interface with us, like collecting parking ticket revenue, things like that. I just want an opportunity to see how those orders affect my office. And I I appreciate the opportunity to get to do that. But,
No,
I guess when I hear temporary, I don't think, you know. Eric has to approve it before it's set in stone.
right.
So to me, if it's more than what they already have, they're covering all of you instead of
but they do
covering
have,
just
they do have
themselves.
orders. It's not like.
I
they're
didn't say they
operating
didn't.
without.
She said it was this big and now it's this big, so it seems to me they're
Yeah.
doing more than what they were before, that's all.
I'd like to make a comment.
Go ahead, Joe.
I've been a fairly regular attendee of town council meetings. And since BJ took over as marshal, he has commented about, standard processes and procedures, specifically referencing Kalia. But this is the first time I've heard of this draft or proposal to the change in general orders. And I'm with Mary Jo that this is a big change, temporary or not. They're being asked to approve sight unseen, a fairly large change to how the town operates and specifically the police department. And I think it behooves any official to review such large changes. It doesn't matter who does that, be it, streets and sewers, Georgia, changes to the HR manual. I think a review of such a large change is needed. I mean, as a member, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I would say that, Joe, I don't disagree with that, but not to stomp on anybody's toes or anything, but if we're letting Eric Burns, that probably knows more about that shit than anybody in this room, that's the one that needs to be looking at it, not anybody in this room, because you don't know shit. You don't know shit about it. I don't know shit about it. The reality of it is Eric Burns probably does.
So I don't want to adopt it until he has it.
I would just say you're correct with
Yes.
that, okay?
Yeah.
But
I just
again,
don't
if this
want-
is standard operating procedures, whether BJ Moyers came up with it or anybody, it's probably come from somebody that, something that's credible, that needs to be in place, or we wouldn't be doing it. I mean, bottom line, so we need to get that in Eric Burns' hands ASAP. So that this town and everybody sitting on this board is covered. Because the least I wanna do is somebody, I'm sure we're protected, but if somebody's coming back and tries to sue everybody here because we effed up somewhere. I don't want that, bottom line. So we need to get that in somebody's hands that knows shit about it. And can review it and get it back to us. Bottom line.
Matt, where was this years ago when BJ took over and was talking about bringing the department up to spec with Kalia and such?
As far as this here, this book,
Yeah,
you know what, honestly, I don't know. Here's the thing that I can tell you. Not a one of us on this board, and obviously you two weren't here, we didn't ask the right questions, okay? What we needed to do, where we needed to go. That's the bottom line. We didn't ask the right questions. What do we have to do to bring this board or this police department up to standard? Now we've got somebody that's actually doing it. And to your point, sometimes it does seem like we're fighting against it. I don't disagree with that. I know that we have to be cautious with things, but again, we have to get it in the right people's hands that know something about it, because we don't. We are all entitled to our opinions, and our opinions don't mean shit if we don't know anything.
But if you take the time and read and ask questions,
Yes,
you will become a smarter person.
you're correct, 100%.
And so I'm saying, give me a chance to look at that.
That's fair.
And by the way, not stupid,
No, I would never say you're stupid,
thank you. And so,
although we are all pretty.
I
It
don't,
makes complete sense, it really does.
yeah,
But I didn't understand it, all I ever saw was pushback, really, it felt
Yeah.
like that.
I understand.
There are other things at play. Yes, I don't disagree, but you know what? We have to figure out, okay, hey, if for some reason we don't believe that we have the right person in the position either, okay, we need to fire him and we need to move on and hire somebody else. That's the case. Bottom line.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm making my case a couple meetings ago when I asked all the departments to present the materials that they were gonna bring up at a meeting. Present them at least by Wednesday of the week before. Did I not?
Yes,
And that kind of thing, if that is adhered to, then you get to the meeting and things can pass because the council has had an opportunity to review it. So this goes back to being prepared for the meeting. And I think that we should just leave it there, that you're gonna review it and we'll move on. Is that?
I want to bring something else up to that, and I'm not just talking about the police department. I have been to several other town boards, okay? This one here, obviously, other than going to like a Lafayette or West Lafayette or a big community. I go to Brookston's, I go to Remington's, dude, we're in there an hour and a half hour, because a lot of this stuff. The bullshit and the fluff that we end up talking about in here has already been discussed, and this is essentially parliamentary part of it, and we take votes. And we move on and we go on with our lives, because we've all had communication ahead of time. And it's just more or less voting for stuff
Mhm.
in here, and we don't do that, we do a shitty job of it, period. Any meeting that's over half hour is kind of a waste of time, quite honestly.
How do we fix that? What do we do?
We probably need to figure out how we communicate better ahead of these, and I know that you can only have what, 3 of us at a time or 2 of us at a time, but again,
Can't have a
collectively.
forum.
Yeah,
Which
there's
goes
email
by
and stuff that we
committee
could
discussion.
be communicating early on. Especially with
We gotta
major
get there.
things, that. And then it's
I'd
just
like to-
here, we're voting.
And to the
Yeah.
point on that, those general orders, literally that if you rub your finger across those pages, that ink would smear. Those literally just got drafted and printed out yesterday. So it wasn't our intention to stall or not get it into your hands as soon as possible. The point of bringing them up today is to get them into your hands as soon as possible.
Well, I'd like to make a comment about that too. I know I've asked BJ, or at least the town council, about, where I could find the policies and procedures BJ was referencing. And he did mention CLIA, and I was able to look at that. And I know I've asked it at least a year ago, if not 2. And he could have at least said he was working on this manual. I mean, sure, he finished it before the meeting and not, between the time, but I mean, he could have let the council know, like Matt said. I mean, this should have been brought up weeks, if not months, if not years ago, in terms of BJ doing this work. I'm not saying it's not needed. I'm just saying it should have been at least announced to the council that this was because this is a huge project. It's like the council changing tons and tons of ordinances. So
I don't disagree, but if you look at that stack of paper in the general orders, that's not just policies and procedures, that's been a collaboration between CALEA and the International Association of Chiefs of Police. These are new forms that have been drafted that this department has never seen before. They've never seen evidence collection forms, they've never seen inventory sheets, they haven't seen theft reports, they haven't, these are all brand new.
I would say that's an accurate 100% statement, and BJ did tell us a lot of this stuff that he was going to do, not specifically this, but the evidence locker and a lot of the stuff that he was laying out. He has laid this out. This is tying everything together, in my opinion. You think about it, it's tying it all together. There's a lot of stuff that he was tying. There's probably SOPs we need to have for Ron and his group, street department, sanitary department, street department, or stormwater stuff. Do we have anything?
but Matt, you don't drop a whole change in procedure. I mean, would you change
No.
how you build a wall?
No, but it's a living, breathing document.
Right.
And it's stuff that we need to have in place for the town as we grow.
I don't disagree, but you don't just say, hey, adopt these specs sight unseen. I mean, you as a contractor wouldn't have someone change.
We wouldn't do that. No, we'd review.
Right.
We'd do it. We would review it or put it in somebody's hands that is an expert in it to be able to review it.
Right.
Not mine. Yeah. Yep. Nope. I don't disagree with that. Don't disagree with that. I think there's a lot of things that this town can improve on. Just a lot of shit. A lot. So, okay, we need to move on because it is.
Yeah.
25 till 8.
We're about halfway through.
Let's go.
Okay. Fred, do you have more for us?
That's it.
That's it, okay. All right, thank you for all of that. Ron.
The first thing I have is, I had quite extensive conversation with Chad.
Yeah.
During the rainstorm,
Last week?
last week.
Which one?
Woods Edge ran 465 minutes straight.
That new one?
Yeah. Which entailed causing overflow at Hawks Nest. I had Jansen at Woods Edge and I was at Hawks Nest, and we finally figured out if we feathered them. He would pump for a minute and then he would shut down, so I opened up the main. We were able to get everything, get through it. It took about 3 hours. But we did make it through it. Woods Edge has been working on I a lot. I don't understand why we came up with that situation. Because they have been doing a lot of work on it. But
They gotta have something major then.
they had to have something major go wrong somewhere. But I will encourage the council, when they see their bill. Let's not give them a break. The council has in the past. And like I said, typically in the rain season, Woods Edge is gonna see a $2,000 to $10,000 increase. No, I'm sorry,
Well, we have to take care of it, so they have to pay for
right,
Yeah, we'll see.
what's that?
We read meetings.
Find out what, yeah.
it.
So that's what I have on that. The second thing I have. Steve Hahn had made me a action list. The flashing light has been moved. We moved it about 15 feet down further, away from the county sign.
So it should be happy now.
I would hope so. The second thing I have is I have a couple places in town that I want to do some asphalt patching. So Sherman and Liberty, basically 180 square feet. And I'm gonna do the full depth patch. So we're gonna lay 6 inches of asphalt. We're not gonna do the little 1 inch. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna get a good base underneath of it and we're gonna. At Jefferson and Sherman. Between Sherman and high school, we have a couple of manholes that are sticking up. And a couple of rough areas in that. So that's gonna be a patch of 1,150 square feet. Once again, the 6 inches full depth. So the total of the two are $16,172.50.
Now the one on Jefferson, you're gonna dig down and see why.
Right, yeah, I talked to the contractor. And while you're there, I'm gonna be on site. And so there's a dip there. There's the manhole that's sticking out. There's along the catch basin that is, yeah, cracking and going down. Superior.
Patch.
Yes.
Who's the company? Superior?
Superior Seal Coat.
And that one on,
Thank you.
that one on Sherman Street. That's a gas company years ago when they redone that road. That's why there's a difference.
Is this because next is great? Is that because the soil is being eroded, right?
Could be.
Or she-
Could be.
Could be.
She must be on YouTube.
Oh,
Oh, is it YouTube comment, not a?
It
Yeah.
doesn't work, yeah. It's not
Oh, it's turned off.
on YouTube, it doesn't work. You can only watch.
oh.
That, you know, we do that.
Huh?
It might not be a bad idea to reach out and if we could figure out contract services, just like Patriot. For all with
Yeah, I think so.
do compaction test on that when we get down and give their recommendation. And meet that shit.
Patriot.
Thanks for the
I
contact.
think that's who we use for South referral.
Would be beneficial.
Oh, yeah, so why, on Jefferson, as Steve was mentioning, with that dip, we don't know whether compaction wasn't done right at the time. I do have I think it's a 24-inch storm. That's the storm that picked up Tomahawk Lane. And that side of town that goes under the railroad tracks. So I'd like to dig down to it and make sure.
Understand what's going on.
Should televise it. Instead of digging it up.
I possibly could, I need to figure out. So the manhole structure that's sitting there. If you take the lid off. You have a solid pipe that it just runs through.
Really?
It's not open or anything. So if I
Catch
went up
basin in the manhole. In the manhole?
in the manhole. Yeah, it just shows the pipes running through, so I don't know why that structure's there.
Take the top of it out and use it for access. Send the camera down,
Probably,
the 48-inch manhole. Too small.
it's a little small.
You get in there and take the top of it out and use it for access point.
Yeah.
Chops all the bugs off if you're a violation. Use water.
Right.
Not pop out and use it for. Send the camera instead of digging it up.
Or I can see it
That way we don't cause more issues.
upstream if I can catch it, the area.
So, do we need to do something with this right now?
I got another location. What about over here on Prophets Rock at those catch basins along the south side of the road there that are all. We got,
And so
I
with
don't know if
Greg,
that's from. When they did that project years ago.
well, Greg Jones and I, when Greg came on the council. We actually climbed into those catch basins and sealed them.
Oh,
That's been sinking for years. That road was actually lowered.
Right, that's why we fixed the water main umpteen times,
Right.
yeah.
Right. I mean, that's another area that could
It
be,
needs to be done because that's major thoroughfare through there and it just keeps getting worse and worse
Right.
and worse and.
Right.
And we need to look at that at some point in time. That should be part of our stormwater, I would think, maintenance budget, that we can be able to do shit like that.
yeah,
No,
but I wanna try these guys out. See how they go and do, and I'd rather use a smaller.
Nate's doing it again too,
Oh, is he really?
100%.
Okay.
What was the
Yeah.
total again, Ron? I'm sorry. I was Trying to keep note.
$16,172.50.
I write it all down.
I was trying to, I missed it and
It's hard, isn't it? Yeah. So do you
I
need
was
a
16, I couldn't get
motion
it
for
back
us to,
I would like it.
I'd like to make a motion to, move forward with the road repairs, the Superior Seal Coat for $16,172.50.
So you got,
motion by Mary Jo, second by Steve Hahn. All those or any discussion? I'm sorry.
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
So the next thing I have, is seal coat also, Superior Seal Coat. So this is Muncie. Cul-de-sac.
Mhm.
Which Edward lives in.
Mhm.
When we plowed that this morning, this winter, when we plowed it this winter, we peeled the.
Mhm.
The,
Mhm. You go through the subdivision up there where cars are pulling in and out
Right.
of driveways and shit, it's peeling it all up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
What's
So-
filling up the
The stuff
asphalt?
they did
The
last
stuff that
year.
is, yeah.
So one thing I'm gonna do is talk to. The guy that Greg dealt with
Right.
and see
Pavement Solutions.
pavement solution.
Very
it is.
good.
There you go.
Did they stop by your house?
To see-
Everybody's house.
They were doing.
Yeah.
Leaving, I mean, it was complete, it's crazy. They didn't want us leaving, they didn't want us coming in,
Right.
I
It's
mean,
a cluster.
yeah.
Well, so. My part-time guy went up and I think he doubled what, 5 or 6 5-gallon buckets full of. Gravel.
And it hasn't been down a year yet, has it?
No.
I walk through that neighborhood in the mornings, I know he runs, and you can just look at the roads and they're just.
crack every 10. So they have,
It's horrible.
so Superior has a different product. I'm not saying that we do this. But I am gonna say that in the future. We will try other contractors.
Is there, let me ask you this, is there any way to go back to this pavements?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay,
I was gonna say, like, what, how long was that warranty for?
12 months, should be.
Alright.
At least.
Was done,
It was done late fall.
oh, okay,
Also, we're.
I personally think it was done a little
No.
too late.
might have been, but.
I mean, if that's what, but they also, as the contractor, should have known that and not done.
But he's trying to get.
I understand, but
Jobs done too.
that's what it would look like.
to what end though? Like,
It's terrible,
right, and
it's terrible.
There's two things, right? So it's the abrasion and there's pea gravel everywhere, especially in the cul-de-sac.
Well, that's part of that.
It's also in the storm sewers. We made a call.
So it didn't get
That's
sealed
impossible.
properly. It's-
Well, it got.
Correct.
Probably, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I.
it
would
didn't
describe it.
adhere, it did not adhere.
Right, and
so if it was too cold to do it or
Too late.
too late in the season, you know, whatever it was.
And now it's cracking as well.
Sure.
So they just went in a hurry and.
I mean, again, we paid full price, so I don't really feel like we should
They say.
not get the product that we want. So, okay. So Ron, are you gonna call in for us and keep it week, what can be done? Appreciate that.
The next thing I have, Steve and I went to Bill Fowl, priced out a truck. They came in at, it was like $53,886 in that range. I brought the F-350, the 2011 in. They looked it over and they offered me $2,500 for it. Didn't sit real well with me. So last week I went to Hubbard. Price wise, they are $800 cheaper. But in return, they're offering $6,000 for the throw.
Oh,
Wow.
so big difference. Who's that with?
Hubbard, Monticello, right?
Right. So to kind of give you a little background of the truck. It's a 2011. It's got 11-foot bed because at that time we had a 10-foot spreader. That you want to have the bed bigger than the spreader.
Right.
It has 46,000, almost 47,000 miles on it. That's it.
That's not much.
It
Not
was
for its
mainly,
age.
right, it's mainly salting. The brakes are shot. A lot of rust. The bed is in very rough shape. But places like that, I mean, they could pull the motor and sell it for the $6,000.
Right.
But so that's the price, two prices I got. On a truck, 2026. Regular cab, four-wheel drive. Steve and I did discuss and we did choose two options. I had to have electric door locks and windows. I mean,
Yeah, I get that.
my other Chevy does not, and I just would rather have that.
Bad anymore. I'm sure they do, but.
The other option, Steve wanted, the driver's seat is actually electric. And it's called a convenience package. And with that, you get an outlet on the dash.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that we want, we can run a phase converter and stuff in the truck, or doing outside stuff.
So the 12-volt outlet.
Did you get heated and air conditioned seats too, or?
No,
All right.
no, it's a red truck with jet black cloths. Interior.
Nice.
And did you check on a bed for it?
Yeah, the bed was about 8,000.
Kind of big.
It's a 9-foot aluminum flatbed.
Okay,
And with it being salt trucks, I'm not gonna put a steel bed on. On a salt truck.
Mhm.
I have talked to to West Lafayette. They have given me permission to take our trucks over there. With a call ahead. And use their underbody wash,
oh, nice.
so I've got that set up. So,
So roughly 55,000 for the truck and the bed from Hubbard.
No,
Well, yeah, the truck would be 47 with the trade-in, correct?
Well, on the light package, you have to have a light package too.
light package,
Strobes.
strobes.
or we put on the strobes ourselves.
Go to
Do that.
Okay. Just get a price removal and get it done.
You have to wait so long.
So the truck with the trade-in is 43,107
Oh, 43,000.
is what they gave me.
$107 and then 8,000 for the bed,
Yeah,
is that what you said?
I believe so.
So we're talking a little over 51,000.
Yeah, 55 with the stroke package, if that. You can do strokes, you name. I'm being serious.
Yeah. So we did the other.
We had one.
Yeah, we have.
Take it a little over, put strokes on it for me, that's me.
I'll check on it prior.
I have 3 trucks sitting there now.
See, and that's part of the problem.
So you have to wait so long.
Yeah.
They're cranking out
Oh, and this.
13
does have
LPD
the
cars
tow
right now.
This does have the tow package with it,
Oh,
So you can pull a trailer out like that with it.
so we need to make a motion.
and it's got the heavier.
I'm not listening to you.
Would you like me to make a motion? I'd like to make a motion to, I'm gonna go 55
Okay, whatever.
for the stroke package.
The stroke package.
Thank you. Just a quick, up to $55,000 for a new truck
And bed.
and bed.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Mary Jo, a second by Steve Hahn. Any discussion? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I appreciate you moving on. Snow.
Good word. Get a good blade for it though. You gotta do that too, don't we?
Huh?
You gotta get pricing for blades, don't we?
No, I'll use the blade that's.
The one that we didn't rebuild, or you ever getting.
Did.
We need a new, we need another truck.
Yeah, we do.
Huh?
We fixed.
Did you?
Yeah, we put a hold for
Talk
it.
about that after these.
Okay, Ron,
So, I also contacted West Lafayette, Greg Jones and I went through last week. There is, I think there's like 12 places that we're gonna do total patch throughout the town. West Lafayette has purchased a one-person total patch machine.
Wow,
Yeah. So they said they'd be more than willing to come out. Help us out with that,
that's nice.
as they have in the past. So,
I assume it's a fee though, right?
well, we'll pay their wages.
Yeah, that's really a good deal.
Right.
Yeah,
Did you? Coal patch? What'd you say that you going, what you gonna get from Westside?
Total patch.
so,
So it's that spray
Okay.
that lasts a lot longer.
mhm.
That's all I have. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry.
you're fine.
So I have a offer on the 2001 Ford F-350 that's down at the sewer plant, along with the bed. As long as I can get it to start, I got offered $1,200 for it.
Okay. For a 25-year-old truck, I'd take that.
You have to do that as sealed bid or an option. You
Okay.
can't just
Okay.
decide who to sell it to,
Okay,
so we
that's
can choose a date and
Okay.
do either one of those things.
Okay.
I might get 1,500 out of it.
Ooh.
And I don't think it has to be.
Is it advertising?
Yeah, do we have to advertise it?
Yes,
in some way?
We have to advertise it a little bit.
And why we still got Ron, they're gonna do High School Street after school's out.
Okay.
Yes,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
high school sidewalk will be done, main,
This evening, that looks really nice.
the main sidewalk got finished. And unfortunately, it was roped off and stuff and a little kid drove his bike through it.
Oh,
No, they've been out in full force. I'm not surprised.
That's how it goes.
well, I guess I spoke too soon. When I saw it, it looked very nice. I didn't see that.
It, yeah, adds character.
I guess it cured most of the way,
Yeah,
so it's not like, oh my god,
but it's still a tire tread through the,
yeah.
Well, in
It's where
20
new
years from
sidewalk.
now, that kid will come up and go, I
I
did
did.
I did that. Yeah,
That's all.
so I'll. Is there any questions for me?
I got a story for you, Mary Jo, after this meeting on that.
Okay.
You'll love it.
okay. And is that all for you for right now? Okay. Area plan redevelopment, I don't think we have anything this month. I do know that I have area plan Wednesday night, and it's supposed to be a very, very, very long meeting. There's a solar ordinance that we're gonna vote on, so we might have something to discuss in May in terms of solar stuff, or, because it'll come to us for approval for the town. So I understand I'll probably be there till the wee hours in the morning, into Thursday, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, moving forward, we did just talk about the sidewalk stuff for our transportation, committee report, so, North Street sidewalk, great minus a tire tread in it. And then you did say that high school, they're gonna wait until after school lets out, to
Mid-June.
begin that work. That's fair. To begin that work. So now I'll report that to my wife and her PTO, and they'll be ecstatic that that's gonna happen and get done. So I'm very pleased. So public relations and communications and social media battleground. Again, I keep going back to our old business, renew and revise committees. I have a note just to, I think we need to stand up some committees for some of these things, so that way we can get some traction and get some movement on some of these items. So we'll discuss that in a roundabout way when we get there. I don't think we have anything for street planning or citizen advisory at this point. So the thing I've been kind of motions to talk about tonight is the renew and revise committees. Who got there?
Finally,
All
we're
right,
here.
so I know we have a couple standing committees that are fairly active with our HR and what to this point we've been calling utilities committee. We meet on a somewhat regular basis with either BFNS or just internally and that kind of thing. But I feel like just having additional committees that are stood up and ready when it's called upon would be a good thing to have, and have people on those committees. Been working with Georgia on kind of a few, or not more than a few, but on some that we either currently have or what we could create. A physical facilities committee, which would be town hall. Just our current buildings, what kind of repair, maintenance, things like that needs to happen. Things of that order. And to Matt's point earlier about this being more parliamentary, I think if our committees, if we can have a lot of discussion there, committees come give a brief report of what's been discussed. If we need to make a vote, we make a vote, and then we keep going. And so, but the committees will be comprised of any two members of the council. And I know Georgia is present at some of them as well, like with our utility stuff and things like that. So, any volunteers for physical facilities? We'll do it.
Wants to help me.
God, why do you look my way? I don't.
I'd love to sign up for them all, but you know that I have a hard time just getting here.
Well, I don't know if I know, I mean, I know a little bit about physical
You can
facilities.
be on facilities, you can do that one from your phone.
I could,
Yeah.
yeah, you can make.
And again,
I
these
can-
don't have to
I'll
be
do it.
necessarily in-person meetings. They can be emails back
I
and
can-
forth. They can be
Matt's,
Zoom
Yeah,
calls.
I'll do
Okay,
it.
so we have Steve and Matt on physical facilities. Okay, appreciate that. Okay, next one, community, like community or community committee, or community library, that kind of thing. Parks, trails, and other services that we'd offer the town, like a little lending library that we set up. Actually, my wife is working with the church, and they're gonna set up a lending library, right? The church has allowed us
Oh,
to
nice.
use their property. We're gonna set up a little take one, leave one lending library.
Church of God.
Yeah, you do the Methodist church right there. Yep.
Oh, Methodist church.
Yeah, right here in town, so people can take a book, leave a
That's
book.
nice,
We're gonna do
yeah.
something like that. They're gonna allow us to. We just need to call for a locate so we can bury a post and do all that and get it set up, but my wife's been working with Pastor Sherry on getting that ready to go. So we're doing that, but I know we're gonna be getting trails in town. That's gonna be something that's gonna be happening here. I know construction's beginning on it.
You,
It's,
okay.
you're in,
I'm
you
in.
want on that? Okay, Aaron wants on that.
What's it called again?
Community library right now, it doesn't, the name is as important as who's on it, who's gonna,
But
Well, community
community committee.
committee. 'Cause
Okay.
there's a woman who would really like to volunteer
Mhm.
if we get something going.
Mhm.
Got her name.
Okay. Anybody
But the
else?
church won't let you have a little room in there?
We want to put it outside so they have to come in, and that way it could be available nights, weekends, whenever people are not around.
they put those up in cities and
Like kids daycare.
downtown.
We had one up there by the school and the Boy Scouts put it up, somebody tore it down.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to
Kid
that.
band.
There's one on Jewett.
Yeah, there's one on Jewett
There's one up
Street.
in, Shawnee Ridge too.
Is there? I
Oh,
mean,
that first cul-de-sac when you go.
yeah, so we want to do like 4 or 5 shelves, I think, and have some adult books, have some children's books, things like that.
You can
So
also do it as a little food pantry.
Mm,
it can double as that too. So
I'm in.
you're in, okay. Cause that would also, I believe that's where like, if we wanted the snow removal thing, like that would fall into the community, I think, committee. We would talk about how to coordinate that.
No,
I'll jump on that with you.
Okay.
I know you and I talked about,
I used to do a newsletter and I was hoping that would fall under one of those two.
I think that could also fall under community committee too. I actually have a neighbor that is very active on social media and good with that kind of stuff. I might ask her if we can give her talking points if she wouldn't draft a newsletter for us. See if she's interested anyways. And kind of get something like that going.
We'll talk about
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anyways, moving on. Well, I guess the next one would be communications and other media, which would be a newsletter, website updates, things like that. Any volunteers? I can also do that one.
I'm actually not very, I tried to do the newsletter, I was terrible at it.
What was that one called?
Communications or other media,
And I was thinking mostly of the website
right?
on that one, because
Mhm.
that's, it may be under community. You could-
Yeah,
Lump it
I was
in.
gonna say,
I saw your email about the accessibility scores and stuff like that. And I can look into those for you. I mean, I've done that with the schools and the city. We're currently going through a big ADA shakeup as well, so
Oh,
I can look
A
at
bunch
those.
are from the state, so we know what this, we know how they scored us, we just don't know.
We're actually
what
doing
to
pretty
do to
decent.
fix them, yeah.
Yeah,
if there's gonna be a separate committee for that, I could,
I think we just lump in the
Keep it
newsletter
everything,
and the
okay.
community into the same thing. I think it
Okay.
can be
I agree.
all part of one. Okay, so other one would be kind of a large one, but long range plans, help us qualify for grants, and loans, show annual improvements. But this would include stuff for town sewer, stormwater, roads and sidewalks. Mary Jo, you and I have been doing a lot of this already. Do you want to
Yeah.
continue down that path on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can work on that. I believe Mary Jo, and then the other two, or the next one we already have, which is HR, but you want to have Aaron
I want
take your spot?
Erin take
Okay.
that spot, because I think she's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think she'll be a rock. I mean, she's what she does for a living anyways. So, and
Same.
yeah, no, and then the last one I've got here
Who else is
is
on that committee?
Steve is on that committee with you.
Yeah.
So. And then the last one, town code or archives committee, which would deal with ordinances, resolutions, and like storage and things like that for the town. So the way I'd see that working, at least from my point of view, is that anybody on that committee, like if we get a ordinance or area plan, it can go to that committee, they can read through it, kind of give the council their notes and that kind of thing. But not just for area plan ordinances. I mean, we do get a fair amount through them every year. That way would be a way to kind of generate a report for the rest of the council on that, on a specific
Yeah.
ordinance.
Yeah. Some of the ones that we have are quite old
Mhm.
and they interface with the police because they have to do with parking and like here's an issue that came up. I'm not sure what to do with it, but people want to know if residents are allowed to use their RV vehicles to live in while they're parked. there.
Yeah.
You can have that.
And that's not really addressed in our ordinances right now.
So yeah, it also would serve to update ordinances that currently exist.
Come up like an ordinance to cover this. We've got a committee that can sit down with either the police or the clerk's office and
And kind of hash that out.
national,
Yep.
before it.
No, I completely agree. I think, again, do I have any volunteers for that?
Hmm. I look that way too, Aaron. I'll do it.
You know, okay,
Yeah.
one other,
And I'll volunteer the deputy clerk. There you
Okay.
go. She needs to
Okay.
deep dive into that.
Sure. Great, and like if these can. None of this is set in stone, it can be subject to change at times and things like that. But I think this is a way for us to have internal discussions among a couple of us, report to the committee and help speed this process out a little bit. So that's the overall goal here. Okay, any other questions on that? And I'll leave it up to the committees. You guys can choose the style in which you meet, communicate. The frequency in which you meet, the cadence of your meetings, that kind of thing is all up to the committees themselves. So I'm not gonna put my thumb on that.
Sounds good.
So yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, and down to new business here. So HR policy update again. What I wanted to discuss, I was working off information that was not accurate in date, and I want to apologize for that. Formally, I made a mistake, so I will own that one. I did not realize there was a newer employee handbook that existed that was on the website. I thought we were working from what's on the website, and that was my error. So I was not aware of that. But again, like in terms of like the payroll stuff that we talked about, I'd like for the HR committee if they could take that up.
Yeah.
And definitely work on that.
Yeah.
And so that way we can get to a solution here soon for that.
Perfect.
Okay, so last big item that we have is new town hall. Where do we want to even, so George and I guess, before we get too far, we did have a chance to walk through 103 Railroad Street. And actually tour that house and everything, that they're still interested in potentially selling it to the town. For us to do something with it as a new town hall or municipal building.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Yeah.
What's the address?
103 Railroad Street, which is just
Right next to the flower shop.
right next to the flower shop right there. So if you head towards TC.
It's a little side yard next to the flower shop and then it's a older home.
Black
That's right.
But the wrought iron fence, wrought iron fence. Okay. I was thinking maybe it was the building.
That's
with
107,
Okay.
which is not right next door, but 2 doors
Okay.
down from this house. So.
I can give you a thumbnail of what's going on with this because we've been kicking around location for a town hall for a little while. So anytime a property comes up, I bring it to you to look at it and just determine yes or no. The 103 will be at a auction. They're gonna present it at auction in June. And they would really like to sell it to the town, but I said, the only way we can really buy it is if we get 2 appraisals on it, or if it sells at auction, then you can buy it like we did 107 in auction. And then you don't have to have the appraisals because the market sets the value by the auction at the sale.
Right.
So it's a double lot. Right now, as it stands today, the person that lives in the accessory dwelling unit on the back doesn't want to sell that, but they're gonna not sell the house for its highest dollar if they don't, because somebody would be buying an old house that needs a lot of effort that doesn't even have a garage. So I don't think the house would sell for very much if they don't sell the garage with it. If they do sell the garage with it, it'll probably achieve more like a market value, and then we probably wouldn't be interested in.
Too high for us.
Yeah, be too high for us. While looking at the inside, it's my opinion that you could probably build a meeting room on a vacant lot that's between that house and the fire station and connect in to the house, but the house is, the 4 square part is the oldest. Then there's a little connecting piece that's a dining room area, and then the kitchen is what used to be the servant quarters. So both pieces are very old. They have different foundations. There's a full basement under the 4 square part, and then there's a basement under the old part.
Right.
But they have a walkway between them, but it's not just one great big basement. There's 2 basements, and it's dry and it's safe. But there would be major reconstruction in the main house to make it serviceable, and it would only serve the town if you were gonna do a full out library, in my opinion. It's fine. You were gonna do a full out library, utility office, and then use the upstairs for like small business office space that could use that building and support what is it that on downtown they use that factory, what do they call that?
It's a co-op space,
Yeah, that,
yeah,
What is it?
Matchbox.
Matchbox,
There it is,
yeah,
yes.
we have a mini matchbox concept
So they-
here in Battleground, because there's nothing that we can use to get upstairs.
you know, like a hotel in there for work and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Right.
Don't you
So-
have to provide ADA access, and that way we talked about before, they'll be able to.
So it has a kitchen, it has bathrooms, it has storage in the basement, but we would have to build a meeting room in the vacant lot part. And then use street parking, and then part of the back could be parking lot. You could make it work. But it would be a.
So if it's gonna go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking over you.
No.
If it's gonna go to auction in June, that means we have a month to think about it. We come back in May. We probably are, our physical facilities committee
Yeah,
could discuss what we want to do, what our thoughts are about that house. Do you think there is interest in the, I know it's in an estate, right?
yes,
Currently, would it be interest in the estate allowing them to walk through the house if they had time?
yes.
Okay. If you guys like to walk through it at some point, you can schedule that. George and I walked through it and kind of, we spent about an hour or so one afternoon, and we took a stroll through it and everything, and
Do they still live there?
No,
Okay.
they use the house and they're cleaning it out, and I was supposed to get you guys in there between 5 and 6 today, and I failed, so you didn't know about it, so we'll set it up again. But I want to bring that up, it's an opportunity if you want to keep town hall in the downtown. And you don't want to build on this area that used to be a dump because of
we're
the
sinking as a result.
subsurface issues. It is a way to keep town hall in the downtown. One of the things that will help Battleground immensely is if the commercial area, the 52 acres that has the deed restriction on long bittersweet properties. If we can get rid of the deed restriction, someone will buy and develop that property, but every time the agent has had someone close, they get to the point where the deed restriction takes away so many acres out of what they're paying for that they walk away from it. If the town would go up there and build what Chad called a civic campus and make a park, make a dog park, make a kid park, make a walking trail, make an exercise route or loop, what do they call those? Put town hall there, have an entertainment type facility, multi-use, we could have a big room for our meetings, but you could also make it multi-purpose so that people could have other events there.
LPD does have a community room. They have all kinds of things that come in and out of there.
Community room, people I've talked to go, well, yeah, it could be like a visitor center for Battleground, you could have a
Right.
museum type thing going on there. Not a full out museum like the Tippecanoe Park, but things that are of interest
Sure.
to Battleground. So that has a lot of attraction because going up there might be the more expensive route because you've got parking lots, you've got other infrastructure. but it could be the way to develop that area faster. So it would be money well
I
spent.
think,
Plus,
I think if people start seeing something you can build up there, I
it'll
think it's
be
gonna
something new and exciting.
potentially spur
Yeah.
on more development.
And I wonder, you know, that area that's under this, like, berm type area. Is that where we would build?
Right.
Yeah,
Those
So-
feet out from the people who already live on Bittersweet
Yeah.
be art. And there has to be a retention pond. We could figure that in.
mhm.
We could make our bike trail that goes from downtown out we could pick that through there. I mean, there's just a number of ways. I just have to get to somebody who can sketch that
Yeah,
for us. And I think Todd will, if we go back to him, the RDC already paid him to do that.
yeah, right.
He's just been sitting on it because the town council needs to stand up and say, this is. the
Right, we
direction
make- Decide what we wanna do.
Yeah.
I think right now is the moment that we need to take a look at 103. Decide or yay or nay on interest.
That area up there, that's deeded that way, can't we do eminent domain on it? Take it and put that town hall there, I don't know what's the size of it.
Could, but I don't think we have to. I think that Tecumseh Land wants to develop and they're on board with us for this.
The RDC meeting we went to, they were pretty gung ho to start jumping that off and get it out to people,
We
so.
got them stood up for another meeting with their agent and Todd Starr, who's on the RDC, is also a surveyor, was gonna lay everything out for them who live there, and we just didn't want to get in front of them unless we knew that it was pretty much a go from the town council standpoint. We wouldn't want to lay something out for them and go, doesn't this look pretty? And then have the council go, oh, no, we don't want to.
Oh, that's my opinion, go,
I like the idea.
I do too,
Yeah.
go.
I do, and I worry about
You-
it's with an old house.
Yep,
You never know what
end
you're
up with
gonna.
the same thing you got here.
It's just like Lumen 7, we could make it work, but for how many years and it might cost.
Well, speaking from someone that redid a house from the 1860s, I can tell you can bite off more than you can chew. So-
Up there.
A lot of work into that.
I didn't even say we piss with that, one. Go up there.
Up there.
I know.
Okay.
I've stood on that one the whole time, up there.
Would you guys be willing to put together a wish list for the council, things that we want to see up there? If we were to do a civic or municipal campus, where you want to call it?
I would like to see the police up there too.
Everything.
Eric's very thoughtful,
there.
and this is like hitting her cold. I don't know if you had this dropped in front of you before. What's your thoughts? Right.
Well, I remember when, way back, I think when they redid the fire station. There was a lot of talk about moving the fire station, volunteer fire station, out by 43 or somehow or another.
Yeah.
And, I was always glad they kept it here. And not because it's across the street from my house.
Yeah.
It just kind of ties the town together a little bit. It's kind of the heart of the little downtown city. And I don't really feel that way about City Hall because it's off the beaten track, but I still feel the sadness of it leaving, like the little downtown area. But I get it. I get it. If there's no place for it to be
Yeah.
down here,
And
that's
at the
gonna
end of the day,
work.
we would own this building. We could try to do something with it. I don't know what that something is.
Remediate underneath it and do something with it, but you're talking, who knows what's buried there.
Right.
I heard a couple of Buicks. So,
But we did the ice skating rink on down on the levee, so I can tell you all the shit we dug up there.
yeah, I'm sure,
Oh,
next to the river right there.
well, that used
Cars.
to be that huge
Mhm.
dump down there.
We dug cars in there.
Yeah, it
barrels.
was terrible. Yeah,
So. Anyway,
Okay.
okay. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Deutsch Alumni Center, concrete, right at the front stairs. Did that chilled water right there several years ago.
Yeah,
We got done. Left for the night, we had it all barricaded off, we come back the next morning.
Maybe you should have some of these.
It was either a squirrel.
Chairs.
That would be nice.
But
Tree.
I think, are we
all
getting
across.
chairs?
we did Georgia.
Chairs really,
is it still there?
Oh, yeah.
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 I'm gonna have to go look.
Oh, yeah, it's still there.
You're fine.
Thank you guys for
You're fine.
volunteering for the committee, stuff like that, getting it going. I appreciate that.
Oh, no.
No.
Respect, like.
Schedule my